Welcome to Hip Hop Gems TV, man. We are back with yet another gem. Got my guy, Connecticut's in the building.
Yes, sir.
Jonny Empire.
What's going on, man?
What's good, bro?
Chilling, man.
How you, man?
It's chilling. It's an honor to be here, man. It's a long time coming.
That is incredible to hear, man. Thank you, brother, so much, man. And I want to thank you for being such a huge supporter, man, because I know we have had conversations, man, of a lot of interviews that you watch, and I really appreciate that, bro.
Of course, man. No, like I was telling you off camera, I mean, when I was in college, I used to do radio for 4 years, and I know what it is, really booking a guest, looking them up, putting some questions together, really formulating a good conversation that's authentic, and you do the damn thing, man. So I'm a fan.
I appreciate that, man. I really do, man. Thank you so much, John.
Absolutely.
Yo, man, let's jump right into this, man. Let the world know who is Jonny Empire and how did you jump into hip hop?
So I started rapping when I was around like 12 years old. I'm from Stamford, Connecticut. Come from a background of my older brother, who was a producer and rapper back in the day. Was making music, and I sort of just was that like annoying little brother, always being in the studio, wanting to be a part of it, see what he was doing, to where I'd get like locked out of the room. I was so annoying.
That's so
and
funny.
then around 16, I got my own equipment and really just recorded everything myself. And I to take it a step back, like I'm an MC, but man, am I such a big hip hop head. Like I'm a big hip hop fan. 90% of the day I'm listening to music. So like I fell in love with hip hop just because it just gave me a feeling I didn't really get any more with like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Z100, but just from there, man, I wanted just to try my own shit. When I was around in high school, and you know what, just that feeling I couldn't shake, and thank God I'm still here, just making some crack, man.
That's fire. Indeed you are, brother. That is fire. Tell us a little bit about the Connecticut scene as far as hip hop goes.
Yeah,
because I really don't, to be honest with you, like I'm tapped in with a few, but not such a wide range of spitters, I should say.
Yeah.
So tell us about how the scene is out there.
Yeah, the scene is cool, man. Connecticut definitely has a couple people that are pretty well known, like the Chris Webbies, Apathy from back in the day. Right now we got dudes like Sholey and Annoyed who are really doing big things for Connecticut. A lot of different places have really dope scenes. Like Stamford, where I'm from, has a pretty dope hip hop scene. New Haven, Bridgeport, Hartford, definitely some other spots. But it's one of those things where it's good to get love from your city, but you got to know that there's always many more people out there and many more places that are waiting to hear you. So I think the Connecticut hip hop scene, everybody pushes each other.
That's so amazing that you said that, as far as like other people needing to kind of hear you. When did you kind of start to make that transition from Connecticut to the city, as far as like, when did you start to kind of notice like, okay, like I need to kind of push my music over here?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it really started, I'd say actually a couple years ago. I had the opportunity to actually go on Sway in the Morning at YouTube Studios to rap on there. And just like here, I mean, you meet a bunch of different people, and everyone's from wherever, but like, where's everybody meeting up? In the city. Like, right. It's like, this is just the Mecca, and this is where hip hop lives. So it's like, naturally, I wanted just to come back and do some events out here. So, I've done a bunch of stuff on World MC, and I'm working right now with Lord Sear. Shout out to Lord Sear from Shade 45. Yep. He's been bringing me around the last year to a bunch of spots around the city to do perform a song or two, play some records, and it really is like that step that I feel like I've been preparing for, so that they'll say that someone's always ready, but like once that moment is there, it's like it is really when it shows. So
Absolutely.
like I've told you, I've performed a lot around Connecticut. The last year or so, I've been doing a lot of shows around the city, and just the response is very real and it's felt. So I just want to continue just to build that up.
Fire, bro. Tell us how did you and the Lord Sear collab kind of come in?
Yes.
I know y'all got a lot of things cooking.
Nah, for sure. So it's a funny story. Well, I mean, we're working on an album right now. I should say an EP. It's called Over the Top. It should be coming out soon. We're just waiting on the cover, just a couple different mixes, but really dope. So I want to say about a year ago, it was like 1 a.m. and I checked my Instagram, and Pete Rock posted one of my videos on his story.
Fire.
And it was a verse that I said Pete Rock's name in, and I was like super confused. I didn't know how he came across it, but I was like flipping. And what's it called? So I reposted it, and then Sear hit me on IG and was like, "Yo, what's good, man? Like, I was the one that sent it to him. Like, I came across your shit, and I heard you say his name in it, so I sent it to him.
Yo, that's fire,
as
man.
a joke. I told him like, "Yo, I think this dude's dissing you." So Pete Rock posted it, and Sear was like, "Nah, like, yo, like I think you're dope." This was he was like, "I definitely want to send you some joints." So I'm like, let me know the budget. And he's like, "Nah, yo, I'm trying to build. Like I really respect what you're doing.
Wow.
Like let's see where we can go." And we sort of just kept in touch, and just going over a bunch of different songs and beats. And we sort of just were like, "Yo, we should put together a little project." Like a little part one, hopefully, a part two soon. He's brought me up to the station a few times and really has some records of ours live in the mix. And, he sort of put that battery in my back that like I've really just been like working for. And, it's just a dude like that who's been a part of really like a lot of dope things, telling me like, "Yo, I'm a fan." Like I could tell, I could just tell like you're really like a hip hop head and a lover of the culture. It's the type of shit that just makes me inspired. So that's how that came about.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah,
shout out Lord Sear, man.
Yeah, shout out to Lord Sear, man. He's
Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, man. You never know who's watching. That's all I gotta say, yo. You never know who's watching. That's why you just always got to be on top of your shit. Always.
Up. And watch what you posting on these socials and shit like that.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. You have a very distinctive, unique voice when you rap. I think it's definitely one of the things that kind of like stood out to me, as far as you being an MC. Your deep voice, man. Pause. Was that something that you've always had, or is that like when you get in the studio, do you kind of like put that voice on to like make the track much bigger than what it is?
Yeah, no. So it's fun. I mean, I'll be real. Like I've a lot of people have always like said that I have like an interesting voice. I mean, I have a deep voice, but like right now when I'm like sort of excited about talking about some shit, it ranges. But talking about like delivery on a song, I definitely went through a couple different phases. Like I went through the phase where I would like scream. Went through the phase of where I almost was like talking, like almost like not really flowing, to where you're recording for anywhere between 10 to 15 years, like hundreds of tracks or verses and stuff. You sort of just figure out your pocket and like what's the best tone to give you the most breath control and shit like that. And like the last couple years, man, I sort of just have been really trying to lay into just like that warm tone. And a lot of that could even come from the mixing as well. But I want it to be that kind where you can enjoy it if you're listening to it, and if you hear it in the background too, it's like it sort of just like feels good. Pause. So I think it's one of those things that I've gotten a lot of positive feedback over a lot of the shit the last couple years, and it's been with this tone where it's sort of like the lower, deep, warm type of feeling. So. I'm doing that, but who's to know? Who's to say in like 2-3 years that might switch up?
It might switch up again.
You never know, man.
You never know. Your new single, Bus Stop. It dropped yet?
Bus Stop dropped yesterday, just a little loosey, just to keep it going. But we got some more records coming out. But Bus Stop is a dope one too.
Bus Stop is out. Tell us about the creative process of how you came about the title and really just your approach to the track, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So Bus Stop really came about. That's actually a song, to be honest, from 2021.
Oh, okay.
That I've had. So, shout out to one of my boys, Josh Carruthers, who's from Stanford, but now lives out in Arizona. Over the pandemic, we really just were like chopping it up, and he always was sending me new beats he was making. I was sending him new songs that I was doing all the time, and the beats really were sounding so dope that we were throwing out ideas, and I was just lacing a bunch of songs to the beats, and before you know it, I mean, we still got like 14 more in the tuck that like might be a project. I might drop a few as singles, and it was dope just because I've been making music with him since I was in like high school. So I feel like he almost was making those beats where like it just felt like he knows how I get down.
Right.
So Bus Stop was one of those from that pack. And I actually ended up recording with one of my other like really good homies, Brian Blocks, who's another rapper producer from Stanford that I've been making music with since like high school. And I just told him like, yo, I just wrote this shit to one of Josh's beats that he sent over, and Brian's like, yo, you got to lace that shit now, like we're like at his spot. So he, I recorded it at his spot, and there's something about when you work with people that really know you from like back in the day and what you like and how it sounds good, it really feels good. But overall, Bus Stop to me, it sort of just is a play on like home. Like I definitely commute a lot on like the train, and I know a lot of people on the bus stops, and it's a crazy thing, but to me, when I say like bus stop, I really mean like home. Like that's like what I'm referring to.
I also loved how you your IG caption, how you pretty much like incorporated the playlist kind of thing, as far as like, yo, when you at the bus stop, somebody like myself, I definitely still take public transportation. So riding the train, taking the bus, and shit, man, even being in the Uber, like I'm like constantly listening to music.
Always.
So I always thought I thought when you put that in the caption yesterday, I thought that was really dope, man. That shit
appreciate
really stood
that.
out. Absolutely, yo. Is the project with Lord Sear, will we see that next year, or we kind of still figuring things out with that?
No, the plan is definitely definitely this year.
Before the year's up, we're gonna get that.
Definitely before the year's up.
Okay.
We were aiming to have it by in the summer, but to be honest with you, we just want to put it out right. We want it to sound right, but not only obviously on the back end, we just want everything to be right. So once it's out and hopefully get some traction, everything will be taken care of. But again, we're right now we're starting to do just some shows and shit, sort of really trying to build that buzz. And I think over the last year we've done a pretty good job of that, to where when we put it out, it'll be cool. And we got a couple more joints that we're working on. So hopefully something in the early end of next year could be like a part 2 almost with
That's
the
amazing.
shit.
That's amazing, Mary. I want to touch on World MC and how did that come about for you? Because I believe you did it like twice, right? I mean, how did they? Did you reach out to them, or did they reach out to you?
So during the pandemic, they were doing a thing where if you record a 16, tag us in the caption. Once the streets are open again, maybe you could come up to the rooftop and do something. So luckily, and the funny thing is, the verse that I did for that tryout was the one that Pete Rock posted on his story.
Yo, that's fire.
But it just was one of those, I mean, like World MC, it was like you enter in your information, here's 3 beats, like pick one, do a 16, tag us. I did that. They hit me up. They were like, yo, that was super dope. Like, I think it was something where they had like the maybe 4 or 5 of the top verses. We did like an online type of thing where it was like a live stream.
That's fire.
Cypher. But then once when everything was happening again, they were like, yo, you got to come to the rooftop and
so
do
amazing,
it. So
man.
went up there the first time. That was super dope. And I've been a fan of World MC, like when it was Team Backpack, and like a lot of those guys, like I really looked up to, because I take lyricism very seriously. And the spitters are just there, man. So having the shot to do that was great. And then coming back up there a couple months ago, a couple years later, just like, feeling like, you still get those nerves, but like I know what the rooftop feels like now. So it felt good. But nah, those guys have been like family, and they're always looking to see. So like MCs, you got to stay on your shit, because like platforms are looking. So
yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Indeed, man.
Yeah.
I've heard in an interview you actually did, man, that you kind of like get into the space where you like are mixing and mastering your own music. What made you kind of take that route, so to speak, man?
Yeah, I think it goes back to like when I was 16, my brother got me like my own equipment, and he sort of just was like, give it a try. Like this is how you open up a Pro Tools section. This is how you add reverb. This is how you put a double on your vocal. Showing me a couple things, and I just did it on my own, and it really turned out to be just as fun as like writing. But now when you think about it, I mean, like I do a mix of both now. Like I mix my own shit, but I also send it out to some people, and I just think you really develop the type of sound that you like to listen to, and it makes you also develop an ear when you listen to music in general, and you're like, oh damn, like this is mixed very well, or like damn, like something went wrong with the master because this shit doesn't sound that good. Like I don't know, like it sort of just gives you this ear where like you pay attention to more than just the vocals and shit. So I say that to say, like, it really just started with just recording every day, mixing every day. Years later, I mean, I love it because I just know what I like my shit to sound like. So yeah, it's a fun thing.
That's fire, bro. Speaking of sound, and I know, we got the project with Sear coming up. In the coming year, are there any particular producers that you would say that you want to work with?
Yeah, oh man, I mean, there's always producers, I'm trying to work with, man. I mean, there are a bunch of people that I work with on albums now that I would love to like lock in and do projects with, like E1 of Mutant Academy. Space from Houston is another one. My boy Brian Blocks is another one. But I mean, if we're talking about like goal list producers, like Alchemist, V-Don, Evidence, like, I mean, that's pretty like high up there. But
Shout
like,
out V-Don,
but those are the dudes that like, I feel like are within the realm of what I do. And
sorry to cut you off, man, but I feel like if you and V-Don would get together, I think that would be incredible, because a lot of V-Don stuff is very, very dark, very like. Shout out to V-Don.
V-Don's a beast, and I mean, I feel like there's a bunch of other producers I'm forgetting, but like, just from my brother being a producer, I don't make beats, but I have such a respect for producers because I just know what goes into it. So there might be some more people down the line too.
It's such a lost. I'm not gonna say a lost art, but I think it kind of gets lost in what it is hip hop has to offer. Kind of producers kind of get the short end of the stick. So it's like it's good to kind of big them up, of course, but then also like appreciate their work and what it is that they do.
Of course, man. What I mean, yo, without the beat or the music in general, I don't know how much the rappers are gonna be doing.
Right.
So yeah, you got to show love.
Got to definitely show love. Jonny, what would you say the message in your music is?
I mean, that's like a broad question, but really the message is, I'm just an everyday dude. No matter what, rapper or not, I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of hip hop. And, you know, that's just truly what I represent. You know, everybody goes through ups and downs. You know, everybody goes through losses. They gain new friends, and friends become family. But, I mean, at the end of the day, man, everybody deserves a shot to tell their story. And, you know, my message is just to never give up. And, you know, if you don't gotta, you know, you gotta get ready, like, in order to stay ready. Whatever that is, you know. So that's sort of what the message is.
Absolutely. Any dream collabs, man, before I let you get out of here, as far as like anyone artist wise, rapper wise, who would you want to collab with? They'd be in this space, so they could be mainstream.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, definitely shout out to, you know, guys who are really doing it. Like, obviously, like, in this scene, I listen to a lot of people. So, like, you know, shout out to, you know, guys, obviously, like Rome Streets, Brain Orchestra is another dude who I'm a fan of. You know, shout out to everyone from the Mutant Academy team, like Fly Anakin, Big Kahuna OG, Gray Matter, all those dudes who are like, you know, I met those guys back in the city in like 2017, just on some shit, and you know, where they're at now is crazy. But you know what, man, I working with a dude like Sear, it's interesting to really be in the studio with a dude who's been from, you know, around those days where people would say it's like the golden era.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people don't show a lot of love to the OGs, but I mean, you know, guys definitely like Evidence or like a Pete Rock or you know, Smoke Dizza. A lot of those guys would be like really like dream list collabs. So yeah, man,
I definitely see that in the future for you, though, brother.
I appreciate that, man.
Along with a V-Dawn project. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed on
All right,
that
yeah,
one, bro.
cool. That's cool
For
with
sure.
me, man. But you know, you never know. I think a natural progression would be doing something similar to what you're doing, man. Because like I said, as much as I love being an MC, I love like hearing about the process of what other creatives go through. So you never know. I might have a little show or something too.
Oh snap! Yo, man, you gotta let me come up on there, man.
Oh
Talk
yeah,
my shit,
yeah.
of course.
Nah, of course, man, of course.
Johnny, man, before I let you get out of here, man, you gotta give us, man, and HHG viewers a gem, man. Give us something.
Man, just as a gem, never forget where you come from. That would be mine. That's one of those things where times could get a little crazy. You got to just think about who's been with you since day one, and really who knows what's best for you. And even in the moment, if it sounds like maybe they're roasting you or on you a little too much, it's all out of love. So you got to respect the friends and family that do that for you.
There you go, man. HHGTV, Jonny Empire. If you're not familiar, please get familiar. Please get familiar. Brother, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
No doubt, man.
It's a pleasure.
No doubt, man. Absolutely, man. We out of here, yo.
What you watching? Hip Hop Gens TV?